Welcome back. We are in the lower bracket finals here, and we've got an insane finals matchup here for the lower bracket. The winner of this game goes into the final. I am joined by our tournament organizer, Chaotic Bear. How are you doing, man?
Hello, everyone. I am so happy to be here with y'all. This has been a blast to watch and to run all day. And I'm excited to see the bottom bracket here. We've got the race to the finals. Charbel just sitting out in the wings for a couple rounds here, waiting for his opponent, and ready to get it going.
So how are you feeling? Your top three are your top three. We had our 1, 2, and 3 seeds make it to the top three. How did you feel for the games throughout the day so far? You were kind of the one on the back end watching all the other games. How are they going so far with everything else outside of the stream? How did it go today?
Yeah, I mean, we learned today for sure how important the seeding is for the players as far as the play draw there goes. We had one of the players playing an Oops All Spells deck that we didn't get to see on stream, and that's a little disappointing. They've gotten a lot of new toys with Zendikar Rising, and so getting to see it on the stream would have been really sick. Unfortunately, they lost out before we could see it, but I'm still excited to see. I mean, our top 8 here of especially with Alurin just waiting in the wings there is pretty neat compared to what you see in a lot of the MTGO tournament scene.
Yeah, so we are getting confirmation from our table spotter that we actually are going to take a couple extra minutes here. Malfi, as they did just finish the 12 post game there, needs to D-sideboard, so we're going to take a couple minutes here.
Yeah.
So our top 3 here, we got Death and Taxes for Frosty, 12 posts from Malfi, and then we have Alurin up in the top bracket waiting for their final matchup. Outside of that, how do you think the day went?
Oh, it's been going swimmingly so far. I mean, like y'all have mentioned several times, all of these players are old hands. This is not their first rodeo for any of them, and so they're all comfortable being on camera. We only have a field of 8, and so it's been very easy to wrangle people. Not that they've needed a whole lot of wrangling, but no, everyone has been on top of it. Everyone has been in their place when it's time to go. All of our commentary has been great today. Mr. Jack Dex on the stream has been great.
Yeah,
I could not be more pleased with how this is going today.
Yeah, you guys have seen my face a lot today. I'm just a caster. There was so much going on behind the scenes with all of our amazing mod team. We have Jeremy here working his ass off, making sure everything got done today, running our tournament, including having our players meeting while Doc and I just reminisced about Legacy while that was going on. But we just want to give a huge shout out to all of our mods, Prez, myself, Pi, Mr. Jack Dax, Mike, Lone Digger, Doc, Chaotic Bear, Beyond Sadistic, Ivan, everyone, Astrid. You guys have been absolutely incredible. And we hope that you guys have been enjoying everything that we've done today.
Yeah, it has for sure been an all hands on deck kind of situation. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of people to keep this going. That's why whenever we get to do these all day events, it's such a special occasion. It just takes a lot of bodies to keep the stream rolling for this long. We've been live for 4 hours already.
Yeah, we started at 11:30 with the pregame.
Yeah.
All right, so we are just getting confirmation from our table spotter that looks like they are ready to get going. So we're going to move over to our table action for our lower bracket final.
Sweet, let's do it.
Alrighty, guys, last game for the final. Frosty versus Malfi, Death and Taxes versus 12 posts. Our 1 and 2 seeds both ending up in the lower bracket, being upset a little earlier in the tournament. So how are you feeling about the game so far with Death and Taxes and 12 posts? You said that we heard a little bit that 12 posts was a little nervous being on the draw against Death and Taxes, with Frosty being the higher seed.
Yeah, I can see that because 12 post is just brutal against all of the blue decks in Legacy, but some of the tools it has in the main deck against Frosty here aren't going to be super effective. And Frosty also getting to play. I know y'all have been talking all day about Skyclave Apparition, but that card is just giving Death and Taxes the tools it needs.
I mean,
she's going to have a 3-mana answer to just anything Malfi does here.
Yeah, it was mentioned earlier just how much we know that Legacy is in a good spot when Death and Taxes is playing well. As the Death and Taxes player myself, I've said enough times, I mean, Skyclave Apparition just transformed that deck into a powerhouse. Being able to move off of creatures, like getting ready to, you can remove an Alurin, you can remove you can remove so many different pieces, Oko, like that was the biggest problem. No one had an answer for Oko really. And now that we didn't even see an Oko today, because Skyclave Apparition was going to be prominent, and Frosty brought it to town, and it's been going.
Yeah. And I think also some of our more prolific players aren't exactly the blue soup, Snowco control kind of players. There's a lot of spice on our Discord, and the people who are familiar with those decks are proving that you don't have to play whatever is winning on MTGO to take down events.
Yeah, so we're going to go right into this. Frosty going straight into turn 1 planes into an Aether Vial. With Frosty being on being the higher speed, she does get to move into she gets to pick pass or play, and instantly Ancient Tomb into a Sorcerer Spyglass here. That's brutal.
Yeah, especially, I mean, you already have your probable target on the board there, but she's got a Swords Prelate, Mom, Revoker, and Apparition in hand. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, Revoker, really good card here as well on the other side of the table. But Aether Vial already on the field is pretty nasty to see.
Yeah, that Sorcerer Spyglass, I imagine, is going to name Aether Vial, right? There's not a chance that it hits that Mother of Runes?
Yeah, absolutely 100% names Vial, shuts them down, because you can deal with Mom later. Especially with Mom not giving any protection, anything useful, except for Stepmom. Stepmom is the only factor for Mom that's going to be becoming a factor with colorless protection. Normal Mother of Runes just doesn't have that protection.
That's true. I didn't even take that into account, how Malfi is on strictly 0 colored spells that matter.
Yeah.
Mother of Runes not at its best here, but...
Yeah. And we're going to see a Phyrexian Revoker right back. I think we're going to see probably a Karn name here. That would be my guess.
Karn makes sense there. Walking Ballista might be a little bit of a hedge, just because it can come down on 2 or 3 and eat some of your creatures. But
it does name Karn there just because there's no way of removal for unless you are playing a Skyclave Apparition, which is the only thing that can target small Karn. And because it does hit 4 or less. So, but yeah, I think Phyrexian Revoker, I would have mulliganed very aggressively to find that Revoker in my opening hand.
Yeah, that's just not something that you want to lose to. I mean, Karn Lattice is a way that several decks win in Legacy, but it's not something you want to see on the other side of the table.
It's absolutely not something you want to see on the other side of the table. And we're going to see a Grim Monolith come down here for Malfi. Malfi has
beautiful foil.
One of the most expensive foils in Magic the Gathering. And I believe he's running 4 of them, if I'm not, or 3 or 4 of them. And
it depends. It depends on the build, because I've joked with him a little bit on the Discord about how if I had 4 foil Grim Monoliths, I would never run 3 in a list. But he said it's the right amount. 3 is the right amount. So
so we're gonna see double Mom here from Frosty. Good card right now, but not really doing anything for the game. Like I said, Mom does not give protection from colorless. That's only Mother of Giver of Runes, not Mother of Runes. Giver is the only one that gives protection, and we're only running 1 of in Frosty's list. Yeah,
I have a feeling that those Mother of Runes are going to be turning sideways next turn. Golos here is going to eat them, so we might have to take a pause on the aggro plan. But she does have that Swords in hand we saw earlier off the Spyglass.
So. Yeah, and now we're playing strict colorless commander here. Golos slamming down for 5 mana.
I want to see Cataracts. Have we seen a Cascading Cataracts into Golos yet today?
We have not seen it into Golos. It got played, but with the Cascading Cataracts got put onto the battlefield. But Golos got eaten alive by a bunch of mill cards, so we never saw the Golos come out on top of it in that last matchup. Bug Hogak ate almost all of Malfi's deck in game 2, but Malfi was able to scrape by and win that game.
Yeah, I was for sure wanting to see it there. Frosty is being disciplined here, continuing to pick up the Aether Vial in case she can get rid of that Sorcerer Spyglass. Lock her hand there.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal. Unfortunately, Frosty, I think, is in a very awkward position here. Not a lot really she can do. A 3/5 with Golos is pretty brutal to deal with. Kind of stuck in the zone of not knowing really what to do. I'd be
is unfortunate there to protect the Golos.
Yeah, I'd be sweating just a little bit if I was Frosty, not exactly knowing exactly what the best play here is. And this is unfortunately a very bad matchup for Death and Taxes. Even with all the new tools, some of the cards are just too big for us to deal with. I mean, Ulamog hurts. But Ulamog hits the battlefield, pretty much game over. But we are going to see a Thalia here at the end of the second main phase there.
It looks like there are about seven different permanents in Malfi's deck that can't be hit by Skyclave because they're too big.
Yeah, just going to bounce the Thalia with the Caracas there at end step.
Yeah, I mean, get her while she's tapped out. She can't swords it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Rax, you're absolutely correct. DNT really wants early wastelands and ports in this matchup, kind of just shutting off those double lands, those soul lands. And ECP math, you're absolutely correct. I believe a foil Grim Monolith right now. Let me check TCG now.
Yeah, they've gone up during COVID times. They're, I think, 1.5, maybe two grand now.
Yeah, they are.
Leo in chat telling us 1.6.
Right now they are 1.7 on TCG player. TCG market price has been $16.95.
Just want to remind all of our players here, we do allow proxies on our server. You can proxy a full 75, and you do not have to spend $6 grand on Boil Grim Monoliths.
No, you do not. If you guys want to, in our introduction page, there's a wonderful do's and don'ts of proxying here on the server, written by yours truly, of what we allow and don't allow on the server. Any card is fine. You can proxy everything from 75 cards to 95 card Yorion Stifle piles, whatever you want to proxy up, just as long as they are the original arting of the cards, no MTGO alters, and nothing that we can't recognize on stream. So,
exactly, we really want to make sure that we present a good stream to everyone. So black and white proxies don't really show up very well on camera. It's not the same play experience in my experience.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to read, especially even in these webcam games. Like, we understand that is an Aether Vial on the other side of the field. We understand that is the Mother of Runes. You can't get that same kind of resemblance with a black and white proxy. Yeah. And we do make exceptions in the cases if there is a time, we reach out to our mod team, reach out to each one of us. We can always help you through figuring out what the best way is to proxy your cards if you want to play on the MTG Paper Legacy Discord. We are fully inclusive here on the Discord. No one should have to be able not to play Magic because you don't afford the cards. No problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of mana there on Malfi's side. We do see a Swords while the Crocus is tapped, though.
Yeah, that's really good there. Kind of getting punished there, Malfi. But it does allow them to bounce back up to 14.
What did he tap out for there?
I'm not exactly sure.
Huh.
Oh, he Caracas bounced himself for Golos. That's right.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, if Rusty can keep the board clear, she's going to have an easy path here to victory. That's lethal in 2 turns on the board.
Yeah.
But, I mean, any of Malfi has so much mana. I mean, all his dust is in the deck. There's Big Ugin. There's anything just gets him out of this.
I mean, even just another Golos just gums the board up even more.
Yeah.
And I love that we know that Malfi's in the tank when we start seeing lands spinning on the battlefield. Malfi thinking long and hard about what the next play is, and we're just going to slam Big Ugin here.
And that is so bad for Frosty. Get to keep the Revoker, get to keep the Aether Vial.
Yeah.
But yeah, that clock is gone.
Yeah. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Malfi, so much, just cast a casual 8-drop off of
4 mana.
Off of 4 lands.
Four lands, yeah. Insane.
I assume that our spotters, I'm sure, making sure that the Thalia tax was paid on that, which makes it even grosser that there's 9 mana off of 4 lands there.
Yeah, but it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, we do see the tick down there to wipe Frosty's board, so she has to rebuild now with an active Ugin on the other side.
Yeah, but being able to have a Violet 3 is pretty big here, because that does open some cards like that does open Skyclave. That does open. We can start getting rid of Grim Monolith. We can start getting rid of that Sorcerer's Spyglass.
Yeah, got to start there.
We actually can't activate the Vial. I forgot we still have a Sorcerer's Spyglass on the field. So
yeah,
we have to get rid of that first.
Yeah, but she has an Apparition in hand. She can hardcast if nothing else, and to unlock the Vial.
So 3 mana here. Probably gonna flicker. I would assume a flicker. Yeah, there's the Skyclave. Probably going to hit the Sorcerer's Spyglass.
Yeah, I mean, the only other option is Grim Monolith, and that's just not good. So.
Yeah, that's just not a good option. So yeah, Grim Skyclave Apparition hitting. Very well done.
Yep. So, I mean, Frosty can start to try to turn this corner, but that Ugin ticks up to kill her stuff. It's just so bad against her. So bad for her. It's very good against her, I guess.
Yeah, it's very good against her, very bad for her. Yeah, Vile is still dead. Now we can activate Vile. Sanctum Prelate, it's got to feel good. Sanctum Prelate, I would say maybe naming six.
So just Lattice and small Ugin?
Yeah, Lattice and small Ugin.
Okay.
I think that's a fair play, knowing that that's one of the quickest ways to lose with D&T is just getting completely locked out.
Yeah. Actually, I had to double check what small Ugin did to make sure that it wasn't a different kind of game to blow out here. But
yeah, small Ugin allows them to basically destroy target permanents of one or more color and then start creating 2/2 bodies.
Yeah. And those 2/2 bodies, I mean, would also get to stick around through any potential future Ugin activations, which is great synergy there.
Yeah, and ECP Math, you're absolutely correct. You can bolt the apparition to get your get a 2/2 because you get that Sorcerer Spyglass back with you get the 2/2 that represented the Spyglass.
Yep. Doing a surprisingly good job at just keeping Frosty off the aggro plan here, though, which is surprising.
Yeah, 12 posts turning into more of less than a Prism deck, but more of a colorless control deck. Gonna bolt the Revoker to allow probably a Karn to come down maybe, and then just maybe set up to kill the Prelate next turn.
Yeah, that makes sense because at this point, I mean, the Frosty doesn't have enough power to punish him for going shields down on Ugin.
Yeah.
Plus, like chat's pointing out here, if that Skyclave goes away for any reason, then you also get another blocker for Ugin. So I assume you can just ride Ugin to victory at this point, really.
Yeah. Copies Cloud Post with the stage, and we're gonna see Karn hit.
So do you think we'll instant tick down here, or?
I think so. You know that there's really no hand disruption in Frosty's list. And if it becomes a case of swinging a 2/2, I don't really think there's any big problem.
The only worry is that if you instantly tick down, that makes it just die to the Skyclave and the Prelate if she elects to attack Karn there.
Yeah, and we did miss a follow there. Matt Lee, buddy from Harrisonburg, thank you so much for the follow, man. Thank you so much for being in the stream with us today. Really excited to see all of my Gamer Oasis friends supporting me on this, and thank you guys so much for being here.
Very nice.
But I think I think Malfi's very, very wondering what they could possibly do. Yeah, this is game one. We are in game one.
Yep, I had chat reminding us that Frosty may have gotten rid of the Sorcerer's Spyglass on Vile, but Karn is just Sorcerer's Spyglass on everything you have. So
yeah.
So gonna write it up. The target there, I guess, doesn't matter. Is that a Mystic Forge?
That is a Mystic Forge.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, Mystic Forge is pretty great with top light clearing card. And then if it's an artifact card, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, so basically anything in Malfi's deck that's not a land, he can just have access to on top of his deck.
Yeah.
I think we might see a break serve this game.
Yeah. Whew, this is unfortunately not gone very well for Frosty on the back end here. They had the aggro plan set up for a bit, and then unfortunately getting slammed by that Ugin just really, really hurts.
Yeah, I mean, and Golas just could have been a 3/5 for 5 mana with no other text and been pretty impressive this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Malfi just thinks for a little bit and passes, it looks like. So this feels like if Frosty is ever going to dig out, it has to be this turn. Otherwise,
it has to be here. This game is over if it doesn't.
I'm not sure what card she would have in the main. And as someone in chat was pointing out earlier, this would have been a great game for Cataclysm, but Armageddon will also be good if she can get it out before Malfi builds up. I've got this perverse love for Armageddon and Cataclysm as long as I'm not on the other side of the table.
Also, thank you so much, Pale Blue Dot, for the follow. Thank you so much. And then Dr. DeLeo, thank you for the 3 gifted subs to all of our friends in the chat.
Nice.
We appreciate that so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Actually, Pale Blue Dot is one of my local friends here that we play Magic with. So it's nice.
Awesome.
Howdy, Nick. Gonna dox him there.
Well, thank you, Nick, for joining us all day today. We appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying all the content.
CDH Nexus.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much to all the guys at CAH Nexus. It makes me so happy that you guys support me over there and over here. Thank you guys so much for all the constant support you guys give. I hope I'm making you guys proud.
Yeah, they've got to see your face all day today, man. They're going back through those VODs and they'll say, that's our Hoffy.
That's our Hoffy. That's our rules arbiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Frosty's still just kind of going on the beatdown track. Gotten Malfi down to 3 here. God, if only you wish you could be splashing red for a bolt.
Yeah, I mean, Ugin is sort of a lightning bolt, but
yeah.
Getting Basalt Monolith. So
unless we're going to see an Ulamog.
I mean, it could be Forsaken Monument combo in his hand. He's got Forsaken Monument in the main deck.
That is absolutely possible. Didn't even think about that. That is potential on that end of the table.
Yeah, Forsaken Monument is a one of the new cards from Zendikar Rising, and it has some other text on it that doesn't matter, but it gives you an extra colorless every time you tap a permanent for colorless, and so your Basalt Monolith will tap for 4 and untap for 3, giving you infinite colorless mana. We'll see if that's what he was going for there. He already has all the mana he could ever want, although I guess this gets Ballista for the win. So obviously going to cast something since he's scooting his whole board around there.
Yeah, it also makes sense because as of right now, he still cannot get the Mycos and Platus combo off unless he kills the Sanctum Prelate, which could become a problem, but also just going to bolt the apparition to get a 2/2 body. No big deal.
Yeah, no danger of dying here. I mean, I guess Frosty could get a flying Flicker Wisp off. No, she can't do that because of Karn, of course.
Yeah.
There's that Forsaken Monument.
Yeah, there it is.
Speaking of which. Is that an Ensnaring Bridge?
I believe that is an Ensnaring Bridge with...
How many cards in hand?
I think we have 3 now. With they said they had 5 after the fetch.
Yeah.
So, Forsaken Monument. So that down to 3 cards in hand. Looks like we're still going to keep going here.
Yeah. So I don't see a way that he gets punished for this. So there's Chalice down to 2 cards.
Oh, okay. So they wished for Bridge.
Oh, okay. Instead of the Monolith. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then cast Chalice on 3. No Flicker Wisp for you. No Prelate. I mean, no Skylight Evaporation.
Yeah.
Kind of shuts down the top end of the deck.
Not even the hard way there.
Yeah. Gains 2 up to 7 here. So now really putting the pieces together here of creating a lock. Another Chalice. Whoa. Yeah.
And I said that the other words on Forsaken Monument didn't matter, but they do matter when you're at 3. When you cast a colorless spell, gain 2 life. It also is a double Glorious Anthem for all your colorless creatures if that part becomes relevant. I guess I should give y'all all the text.
So Chalice on 3, Chalice on 1, then cast a Sphere of Resistance to gain 6 life, go up to 11, and then say, go ahead.
I'm glad Frosty doesn't have a face cam because I can only imagine the expression she's making right now.
I guarantee you she went, oh no.
Yeah.
That's got to be a little tough to deal with on her side of the board. And I think we're just going to pick it up there and go to game 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. So for sideboards here, I mean, Malfi has got, we'll say a bunch of 1-ofs for Karn.
Yeah,
looks like the cards he would actually bring in are 3 Leyline of the Void and 1 Ravenous Trap. Everything else is a wish target. Do you think you bring anything in here?
I think the Dismembers are fine.
Yeah.
Just getting rid of a problem creature that's on your board gets rid of a built-up creature, gets rid of a 4/4 Germ token. I think that's probably the only cards that could easily even think about coming in. I don't see a reason to bring in Leyline. I don't see a reason to bring in Ravenous Trap. And then, like we said, everything else is just another Karn piece. Maybe if we don't need the Walking Ballista, I really don't think there's anything we bring in other than the Dismembers. Everything else is just there for him to grab with Karn.
Yeah, and it looks like actually, if we can even see 3 cards laying on the map there, I would bet that those are the 3 Dismembers.
Yeah, maybe 3 Dismembers, maybe a second copy of Walking Ballista, maybe be the other option, just to get it in there and shoot stuff down quickly.
Yeah, so Frosty has 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Path to Exile, a Pithing Needle, 2 Containment Priest, 2 Damping Sphere, 2 Rest in Peace, another Sanctum Prelate, a Sword of Feast and Famine, an Armageddon, and a Walking Ballista. Are you excited about any of that to change the math on this matchup?
It's not looking great for her, unfortunately. It's not the best matchup for her. Pithing Needle, card that probably comes in. Path would probably come in against the creature base. You know that there's really no basics in Malfi's list, other than I think maybe a waste or two, but I don't even think that counts. I'm not 100% sure if it counts as a basic. It does, okay.
Yeah, it is a basic land, but I don't think that's super exciting to worry about.
Yeah, Path is fine. Pithing Needle. I don't think Containment Priest is good. Dampening Sphere is probably good enough to come in because that kind of just slows them down really, really hard. Rest in Peace is an I think maybe another Prelate for like another high number, like 7 or 8. And then I keep saying it. I'd love to see Armageddon come in.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a match we're going to see it, maybe now is the time we're going to see it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that Pithing Needle is also taking for me against all the Planeswalkers in Malfi's deck. But we know that he also has Chalice in the deck, and so there's always that tension of, do I try to go get a 1-drop in the face of Chalice in 1?
Yeah, Chalice of the deck is, especially when Malfi has been so consistent on getting his Chalices out and using them very, very aggressively. We saw how quickly it went Chalice on 3, Chalice on 1, lock you out of the game right there. Not even having to go Mike and Synclatus lock, just, all right, cool. I'm just make sure you can only cast 4 spells in your deck right now. Yeah. And Rax, thank you so much for the double gifted sub there. Thank you so much.
Rax was one of our competitors today in the Invitational, made our top 8 for the season, but unfortunately knocked out a couple rounds ago.
Yeah. We appreciate you taking the time to play with us today and all of the work you've done for the last 3 months in the Invitational. Thank you so much, Rax. And then Johan V11981, thank you so much.
Thanks for being here with us for the second to last match. We have the finals after this. Of course, if the winner of this will be going on to face Charbel at the end, and we'll need to win 2 matches because it's a double elimination, and Charbel has not dropped a match yet. So Charbel just wait things.
We're going that wonderful flip the bracket kind of deal. If let's say if Frosty or Malfi gets out of this matchup, and if they beat Charbel, they'll have to beat him again to see how that goes, to reset the bracket, which can always be fun, seeing how a one match can go versus another match. Also, thank you guys all so much for the subs. We appreciate all the love you guys give us in the chat, and we hope that you are enjoying all the content you're seeing today.
Definitely, we've been excited to bring this to y'all for a while now, and getting to see it come to fruition is just great. And we've had just so much support today from y'all.
And we're getting some confirmation from our wonderful table spotter, Mike, that they are talking about what Sanctum Prelate should have been on and what it could have been. And Malfi's still working out what to bring out, because I think he brought in 4 cards and didn't know what that 4th card was to be. So
yeah. I mean, I think that there's not any like strictly best option there either. They probably could have made a case for 2 or 3 different numbers on that Prelate. Yeah.
And yeah, Charbel, if you didn't know that, you have to lose 2 games today. You have to lose twice. So if you lose your first match, it's not all over.
Yeah.
When you're in that final. So it looks like we're going to get going here. Looking at 7s, I really hope that Frosty can have a better game too. But Malfi was in such control that game.
Yeah, she gets to be on the play here, of course, because she lost the last game, but didn't get out to a super fast start last time. Of course, Malfi with the turn 1 Sorcerer Spyglass to shut down Vial, I think, just completely ruined her game plan.
Yeah, Vial, hitting your Vial after it's your turn 1 play is brutal. So Frosty's going to keep her 7. Malfi, we're figuring out if they want to keep theirs right now as well. But we hope everyone's been enjoying it. We got at least 1 more match after this. We're going to be playing in the grand final. And if somehow our lower bracket winner wins that game, we're going to be playing 1 more. So stay tuned. We're almost to that final stretch.
Yep. And no matter what, that means that Charbel will actually be on the play for one or both of those matches.
Yeah.
So good luck, Charbel. Saw him peek his head in chat there, keeping an eye on us.
Yeah. And so we're going to see Frosty Plains here, probably straight into a Pithing Needle. Nice.
Pithing Needle. So, I mean, what do you blind name here if you're Frosty? You're the South and Texas player. Karn. Okay.
I think that's the quickest name. It's the 4 mana. It's the 4 mana planeswalker, not the 8 mana or the 7 mana. It's the quickest way for them to beat you.
Gotcha.
Suva copying planes.
Oh, that may not bode well for us.
Yeah.
Oh, Damping Sphere.
So Frosty finding all of the sideboard action right now quickly.
Yeah, that might actually just. I mean, with the current board, that might actually just be great for Malfi. It gives him colorless mana for spells that require colorless.
Yeah.
So,
and Sorcerer Spyglass.
All right. So similar to last game, we have Wasteland, Port, Stoneforge, and Apparition here. I feel like it's got. Does Sorcerer Spyglass hit lands?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think that's right because it hits Wasteland. I feel like I would name Wasteland, but
yeah, activated. Look at a battlefield, look at an opponent's hand, then choose any card name. Activate source. I think you just name Wasteland.
Yeah, confirmation. I think here. Oh, name support actually.
Yeah, I guess because we didn't see. I don't think we saw Wasteland, so it might just be the best option.
Yeah, there were. I believe the first card to that she showed was. I thought that was Wasteland Port in her hand, but I may have misread that.
Yeah. LEP 100. Hello. Good to see you. I love you. So we're gonna see a Stoneforge Mystic here. From Frosty here. Probably gonna grab that Batter Skull. Just gonna start slamming face here if we can.
Yeah, I mean the swords aren't exactly their best in this matchup, I don't think, and the GT is a great card, but I also don't think it's as good as Batter Skull against Malfi.
No, I don't. I think Batter Skull is right now is the number one option right now. Like you said, GTA just doesn't get there, and neither do either swords. Drawing cards is great, and then being able to deal 2 damage. Oh, that was a Wasteland
from her hand. Yeah,
I think Port just hurts later in the game.
That's true. I mean, I guess the two are kind of the same thing. It turns off 1 land for you, but Wasteland just doesn't require an investment turn after turn. So just another 2 Vasuvas over there. Table spotter confirming Vasuva copying Vasuva, which is a plains. Okay, thank you. All right. Couldn't just target the plains like a normal person. It's fine. We get it, Malfi.
Left Coast having a great old time. Got UFC on one monitor, stream on the other. People throwing down on both screens. Hope the action isn't as too crazy on the other screen that it is in this screen, because we're pretty crazy on this side. Going to town with 12 posts and death and taxes here.
And Mr. Jackdex, just a shout out to him over there, keeping our board with all these labels on them for the Pithy Needle and the Spyglass of Vasuva.
Yeah, Mr. Jackdex doing insane work as our streamer today. Behind the scenes, absolutely killing it. We're technically watching the stream through his stream, so I can see quickly what he is doing on his end, and he's doing a lot more work than we probably give him credit for. Clicking through about 6 different scenes every time anytime anything happens. So he's updating life totals, letting us know what's going on the battlefield, and we're going to see Vasuva tap out with Basalt Monolith to give us Grim Monolith to give us a Basalt Monolith here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had to tap the Tomb and the Vasuva because of that Damping Sphere, meaning that Tomb costs 2 life and gives you 1 mana, which is not a great rate.
Yeah, no, and right now Frosty in a really good position here to start slamming another pieces, and this is gonna be another piece of interaction. A Sword Feast and Family on top.
Oh, good.
That's
yes.
6/6 with Vigilance Lifelink. So Frosty up to 24.
And Malfi has to discard. That is not going to be good.
And Frosty gets to untap all of her lands.
Yeah, she just gets. I mean, she doesn't even have that many cards in hand left, I don't think. But
yeah, that was just free.
Yeah, so we need to make sure that Frosty gains her life up to 26 on Malfi's side there.
Yeah. Malfi's going to discard card.
Yeah,
that's brutal. So Malfi down to 20. So Malfi down to 12. Frosty up to 26. You're pretty brutal sides. That was brutal.
It's a 12-point life swing, and then we get the bonus Skyclave to take care of the monolith, turning off the combo out there too.
Yeah.
Frosty. If Malfi doesn't find anything this turn, then he's absolutely dead. And even if he does find something, he might still be dead.
Yeah, that a 6/6 is pretty brutal to deal with. Malfi Skyclave Frosty Skyclave Affirmation to take the untapped monolith there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Malfi only access to 3 mana this turn, despite, how this deck only works with 3 lands. You're used to casting 6, 7, 8 mana spells, but
Yeah, absolutely. I think Malfi's in the tank of whether he's just dead here or not.
yeah. And it looks like there might be just 1 card left in that hand, which is, I mean, if he doesn't cast it now, then okay, I see 2 cards. Getting that City of Traders out. But that Feast and Famine means I don't think he's ever coming back in this game. He's never going to get the critical mass he needs.
No, that's super unfortunate.
But it means we can see more Magic.
Yeah, it means we are going to probably see a game 3 here. Let's not count Malfi out entirely, but it's pretty brutal. That was a sick line right there for Frosty to Germ Token into Batterskull into Sword of Feast and Famine into Skyclave to lock down the board.
Into never didn't have it. Didn't even have to search for it. Just casually having it in hand. But yeah, so we see the swing here. I mean, we assume I just assume everything comes over, right? Any reason not to?
I think you just play the safe game here and swing your 6/6, knowing that they can't really do anything about it. I mean, because you're only looking at 10 damage on the board, so it's still not lethal. It's still a turn 2 clock no matter what you do. You don't want to lose the Skyclave to give him a blocker.
Yeah, I just feel like if I don't get a swing, gonna move it.
Moving the Sword of Feast and Famine over to the Skyclave operation, so that's 8 damage there.
Yep. Diversify your threats a little bit, and it's also just free because you get to untap your lands.
Yeah.
I would just be worried a little bit if I'd only swung with the Germ, that if Malfi can remove it, then I don't have lethal on the board for the next turn. But if I make a bigger swing, then my remaining creatures are lethal.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're gonna see a discard there and a life swing down to 4.
Yeah.
Discarding Dismember. Yeah, I mean, you can't hit the Apparition, so that's a super heads-up play from Frosty there.
Yeah, you also can't really pay for it.
That's true.
It really it's a painful thing to pay for. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna see a Golos here. I just don't think it's enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. You have 2 creatures on the board that are each lethal, so all either one has to do is hit you. I'm not sure what Malfi would go search for here. Does he run a Mazavith in his deck?
It does not look like it. Okay. I don't see one. Yeah, so 4 Ancient Tomb, Cascading Cataract, Cloud Post, Glimmer Post. No, not one at all.
Yeah, one of Mazavith would stem the bleeding here for a turn, but yeah, I don't see. Yeah, we're going to game 3 here. Yeah,
that was a pretty brutal beatdown by Frosty there, turning a 4/4 Germ into a 6/6 untap all my lands.
Yeah, hopefully that UFC fight was a little more civil. Left Coast. Left Coast was another one of our participants today. I think y'all might have gotten to see him on stream. I don't remember if this, but he played the Bug Hogak. Yeah, we got to see him on stream 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, no, last round actually.
Oh, last round. Time flies.
Malfi and Left Coast played to get into this game, and that game was very crazy. Unfortunately, Left Coast almost got there with the mill out planning game too, but 12 post just really, really difficult to deal with. Left Coast, thank you for all you did this week and all you've done the last 3 months for the Legacy community on our Discord. It was such an honor to have you in our top 8. Thank you so much.
And like they mentioned, so we have our top 8, our top 4 is locked, which means if you make the top 4, you get one of the Brainstorm or the newly announced Dark Ritual tokens whenever we get those in. The person that wins will get a full playset of them, and that's just a sweet prize that you can win in our weekly events if you play in our leagues. Just a fun, we want to offer some stakes, but this is one way that we can, keep it inside our community and promote ourselves with our prizes.
Yeah, so Left Coast, you made to the top 4, so you're going to be getting, I believe you're going to be getting one of either, and and so whoever wins this match has the ability to go play Charbel for a full play set of either our new pictured there, our new Dark Ritual tokens, or our new our last semester's tokens of Brainstorm, which are just gorgeous arts. Also, our really sick backs that we have. I believe a lot of our players have them. Yeah, there's our wonderful Brainstorm that we've had. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited to see what happens with our when our Dark Rituals get in. I'm so excited to see them.
Yeah, Miss Black Thanks for showing that off. I was actually just reaching into my desk because I know that there's a box in there that has my brainstorm tokens in it.
But yeah, I'm very excited to get my set of Dark Ritual tokens whenever we get that order. I'm very, very excited. And I'm very excited to start handing them out to our players soon because I know they're excited about them.
Yeah, Dr. Leo is going to be working on a fully MTGPL token storm deck at this point, I bet. Just going to see
I wouldn't put it past him. Wouldn't put it past him at all.
If he tries to get ad nauseum printed as our next token, then we'll maybe Malfi doing a little stretch here before going into game 3.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing. Our players have pretty much been playing nonstop. I wouldn't even be surprised if after this game we took maybe a 10-minute break before the finals, let our players kind of relax. I know Charble has kind of been sitting on the wings, but Frosty and Malfi have been playing for almost 4.5 hours straight now, almost 5 hours straight now. So maybe give us a 10-minute break before we get into the into the finals there, whatever happens.
Yeah. I mean, they have, like I mentioned, this tournament has run just butter smooth because of our players. You know, you sort of dread hurting cats a little bit, but these cats have just been so well behaved today. It's just been great.
We thank all of our top 8 for being here. They've been playing amazing all the last 3 months, and the fact that they've done this and allowed us to be able to run this so smoothly, it's been them. Having 8 different OBS, almost up to like 16 different OBS links for each of us commentators, for each of the players, consistent updating of the deck lists. It's been absolutely incredible on their end and for all the people behind the scenes.
Yeah, Mr. Jack Dex has a lot of work to do today, so we appreciate all of our players for getting all the info to us and, you know, being where they need to be when we need them to be there. It's been great. So it looks like players are drawing here. Malfi may be keeping 7. Don't see any.
Yeah, Malfi keeps. Freezy is going down to 6. Frosty is going down to 6. Sorry.
Yeah, it's been nonstop action. We've had 75-minute rounds today. Because of the elimination tournament, we want to make sure that players have opportunities to finish matches. It just sucks to have to use sudden death, and we want to see games on stream play out fully. It's not fun to stream a game going to time. So
yeah, and if we were in an environment that allowed us to do full no time limits, we definitely would. But the fact that we're doing this over stream, doing this with our players in mind, we have players from all over the world. Keeping this to 75 minutes allowed us to really, and also we really haven't had any match go to time left. I think there's still like 35, 40 minutes left in the round because these first 2 games have gone pretty fast.
Yeah, I think our first match was the longest. It was the one that we featured on stream, actually.
Yeah, it was the 2 fair decks.
Yeah, the Death of Taxes versus Maverick that it took. That one took about an hour.
Yeah, we were right up there, and Frosty climbed out of that one. That was looking pretty scary in the first game, and Frosty is still in the tank here because I'm sure this is a very tough spot to be on in the draw.
Yeah, you know that this is a do or die kind of situation here, and if you don't keep the best hand, then you're not going to get to play in the finals. So,
yeah, I'm just happy that as a Death and Taxes player myself, Frosty is representing us so well, and I'm sure all the 12 plus players are backing Malfi, and I know all the Allurn players are backing Charble. But like I'm gonna root for Frosty throughout this entire event because she has done such incredible work with the DNT list and has been an amazing pilot of the DNT list. So, and Frosty looks like it's going to go down to 5.
Yeah, I mean, if you find the right 5 against Malfi, you can just lock him out of playing early game threats. Make him stumble. I mean, Frosty has sort of a similar game plan to Delver in some respects, where it's just you figure out how to get a board, you figure out how to keep your opponent from doing stuff just long enough for you to win.
Yeah. I do have, so as our tournament organizer, I do have our players asking if you have the time in the round by any chance.
Believe it. Looks like it's 38 minutes remaining.
Perfect.
So we have plenty of time.
Yeah. They were just, it looked like Malfi was asking for time in the round.
Yeah. The extra long timer hasn't really been needed today, but like we said, we're here to see Magic. We're not here to see whoever has the highest life total win.
Yeah, and as if you didn't know, that is how elimination games go. If they go into time after those 5 additional turns of what we do, the winner just comes down to who has the most life, and that's just, it doesn't feel right if that's how a tournament's, if that's how your top 8 run's going to end, or if your break into the finals is going to end. Ancient Tomb straight into a Chalice on 1 here for Malfi, just going to lock that board up right away.
Yeah, I imagine it's a Frosty land go, but a Cloud Post. So Malfi's having exactly the start that he wants to have here.
Yeah, that's exactly what Malfi wanted. A Suspension Sphere for, it's got to feel good for Frosty though, being able to bounce back after seeing a Chalice on 1.
Yeah, Damping Sphere just turns Ancient Tomb into the worst waste. But Malfi will need to cast spells here, so, and those, being able to get Damping Sphere down there against a Cloud Post about to untap is great for Frosty. Into a Glimmer Post, so yeah, this would have been an explosive turn.
Yeah, Grim Monolith into Karn.
So, still, turn 3 Karn in the face of a Damping Sphere isn't anything to sneeze at.
No, and especially if the possibility of, if we can see it, maybe even a lockout next turn, if we're lucky enough by Malfi.
Yeah. He would need to get I think LED. He doesn't have LED in his sideboard. Yeah, that Grim Monolith not untapping and the Damping Sphere I think will hold him back. But
yeah. Yeah, and they're gonna go search. So,
yep, getting a Forsaken Monument, which doesn't go infinite with Grim Monolith, but also, like we saw the first game, it has abilities that aren't comboing with Basalt Monolith.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if he has a land in hand, it's something he can cast next turn.
Yeah. So Malfi in a good spot. Frosty doing exactly what they needed to do in those first 2 turns, but Malfi does have just the ability to just have more mana.
So Rex, Malfi had the Karn because Grim Monolith gives him 3 mana and Ancient Tomb taps for 1.
Yep.
So the mana there did work out.
Yeah, remember, Damping Sphere says if a land is tapped for more than 1, not if anything is tapped for more than 1.
But Frosty's tapping 3 here pretty quickly. I wonder if we'll see an apparition on the Damping Sphere. Sorry, not the Damping Sphere, on the Chalice to unlock the 1s.
Yeah, that may not be a bad idea.
Could also be Karn, though. I mean, you're afraid of Karn. Oh, actually, that's a good point from chat here. We may need to back up to the Karn. That's a good point. Damping Sphere has the additional ability of making additional spells cost 1 more mana, and but he couldn't have cast the Karn off 3 lands, so that doesn't work either.
Yeah,
because of Damping Sphere makes it to where the lands don't tap for enough mana.
Yeah. So our players are our table spotter is working through them right now. So Damping Sphere is there along with Karn. So we are going to probably have to back up a couple of turns here.
Yeah, I mean, the only action that's happened since the Karn is that Skyclave apparition, so this should be pretty easy to resolve.
Yeah, nothing has terribly badly happened. We're not 6 turns into realizing a Dampening Sphere. Yeah. Great catch by our viewers there. We're so enveloped in making sure that the games are going right that we all kind of glossed over a Dampening Sphere there.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a break real quick while we get this rewound for y'all.
Yeah. So we have myself as a judge, and we have a couple of judges in our mod team. So, but unfortunately, as I'm casting, I'm not going to hop out and handle this. I'm going to let our other judges. We're only backing up 1 turn. Karn was we have a Skyclave and a Karn. That's not terrible. It is what most likely would happen at a Pro Tour. We would back up 2 turns and be giving a game misconduct to Malfi. It would be a warning. It's the only warning we've offered all tournament. Nothing really changes much for the lines here with Malfi and Frosty, I think.
We haven't actually advanced the game past 1 turn here. It was Karn on Malfi's turn and untap Skyclave from Frosty. So Jack Dex helping our table spotter out, who is also a judge. He's gonna help him get that back to the correct state.
Yeah, the Skyclave knowledge is up to, it's really up to Frosty's knowledge. It really becomes a play of what Frosty wants to do. The first person we would absolutely talk to is how does Frosty want to proceed? If Frosty is comfortable with moving backwards, especially in a top 3 event, we are allowed to move backwards. It's in the game rules under, I think it's 17C. It's up to player's choice. Malfi will be receiving a warning for a misplay. Yeah. So it's really up to how Frosty wants to proceed at this point. And the Mr. Jack Dax, yeah, we can just keep moving back there.
Yep. But like Pope said, thanks for the catch on that, chat, because there's a lot of moving pieces here, and it's y'all have got 50 sets of eyes that we don't have.
Yeah. So we appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. And yes, this is for third place. This is our winner of this goes into the final against Charbel. And the loser of this, unfortunately, gets third place in our tournament.
Yep. But there's not, other than bragging rights, there's not a lot of difference between second or fourth. So gotta get that W.
Yeah. Also, Frosty should be getting a warning as well for maintaining game state there, because she is not allowing. So I may actually have to dip out here just to answer some questions. So I'll be here is my face, but I'm gonna hop into the game real quick with them.
Okay, well that's the part we all want to see anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So while they're getting that rewound here, we've had a long day today, like you said. We started streaming at noon Eastern. It is almost 5 Eastern, and these players have been going just nonstop. This is actually Frosty's third time on camera today. We had she started us out the first round because she was first on the leaderboard, and that was just a place we wanted to start and feature her. We also did a vote in the earlier rounds when we had multiple different matchups going, and despite having some spice in things like Oops All Spells, we had elves, we had Hogak. The audience voted to see her again on Death and Taxes, and so she was featured in, I think, round 3 as well. Just obviously a fan of that deck because she has got the Euro planes. I love watching any deck that has a bunch of basic lands where they've really, taken care to select them. Looks like they're still discussing the situation here. Hope Huffy, level 2 judge, in here with us on commentary, so I have all the faith in the world he will get that ironed out with Mr. Jack Dax, who's also level 1.
Yeah, so I am back. We handled it out. So we're going to go back to the Karn being cast, which is the appropriate line of play there, as it is the point of discussion. Both players are in a position to understand that a Skyclave was most likely in hand anyway, especially with Frosty as it being in the card. But it's not going to change the pace of play. Both players have been issued warnings on their failure to maintain game state and understanding their own mana. But other than that, we're good to go. Both players are in positive positions here to handle what is going on.
Yeah.
And everything is back in the sideboard. Everything is there. The game state is back to what before the Karn being cast, basically.
Yeah. But that means that Frosty gets to adjust her play there for Thalia, it looks like, after Wastelanding. So, that gives a little bit of extra information, but I think that that's the best solution that we can do there.
Yeah, we want to thank you all for being so patient with that. Like I said, we do have multiple judges, including myself and Mr. Jack Dex, who was our stream head. He was actually the one who caught it quickly and stopped the match as fast as possible because we were moving into another turn there, and we didn't want to move any forward. So yeah, both players have received warnings that will carry over to whoever plays into the next game. Unfortunately, if another player receives a warning, it will be a game loss. So both of those players are understanding that it will happen. So now we're going to probably see an appropriately casted Karn, hopefully.
Paying the one. I see the one.
Yeah, so we're going to see an appropriately casted Karn there, and not too bad. But yeah, nothing funnier than your lower bracket semifinals is the first time the lower bracket finals we get a judge call. So
yeah, that is funny. Like you mentioned, I mean, all these players are very experienced, and this is the first time we've had to issue any actions today. So.
Yeah, talking with both players, both of them missed it. Even Frosty apologized. I mean, Magic is a complicated game. Every card has words on it, and when you're buying for a final, It happens. And we appreciate both of our players for being so understanding of issues of warnings and understanding that shit happens. We try our best to make sure, even as judges, I make misplays, even as I know L3s who can barely understand how some lines work. It just happens. And we appreciate our players so much. And yeah, absolutely. Webcam does make it harder to forget about cards that are not physically in front of you. But we thank you all for being so patient in what we're doing and all that. And thank you guys so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's, as much as we try to recreate the paper in-person playing experience, there will always be a little bit of lag, a little bit that feels slightly off to it. But I think we really manage that the best that we can here.
Yeah.
But the after playing the Karn, wishes for the monument again. So
yeah. So basically, we just had to take an extra turn to do everything that we saw, and both players pretty much understood that.
So get the second white source for Frosty. We know that Skyclave's in hand. I feel like at this point you might just go ahead and hit the Karn, right?
Yeah, I mean, Malfi, even if you're not dealing with a Skyclave's still spooky. Even in a position like Malfi's, you should probably expect a Skyclave in hand 100% of the time. It is one of the most powerful cards against your deck. And I don't think it's any problem. And yeah, I think Frosty might just go to town on the Karn anyway. And yeah, I think we're probably going to see a Stoneforge Mystic.
Stoneforge is nice because we need to get a clock going here. Damping Sphere slows Malfi down, but it doesn't turn his deck off.
No, it doesn't instantly knock them out.
It's no back to basics, right?
No, it's definitely no back to basics.
But gonna get Sword of Feast and Famine this game.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, Battershield would be a turn slower because she'd have to untap next turn and play it in a way to turn to a swing. So this way she can get at least attacks in with Sword of Feast and Famine a turn sooner than Batterskull would come down.
Yeah.
Assuming she has a land in hand, that is. But so
I'm excited. I'm excited to see that updated Esper Vial guide. I'm especially as like the other side of Esper Vial. I think it's a great list now that Skyclaves it. I'm very excited to see what you add into that, Johan.
Yeah, that deck is really gross. It's we haven't seen it a whole lot in our meta here. I know that Left Coast was actually playing it for a while.
Mm-hmm. I just don't have the Gilded Drakes. Like that's the big problem. I think Gilded Drake's such an insane card for that list, and I just don't own them. I own one for Commander, but don't really want to pull it out of Commander.
Yeah, just a reminder to Pope and everyone else, you can feel free and proxy those Gilded Drakes if you'd like, sir.
You're absolutely right. I actually just have a terrible printer. It's actually the other thing that's pushing me off so much.
Yeah. Gexion, you can actually take a look at the list in Cardboard Live there. It doesn't give a price. You can at least see the cards. I would guess 15.
Right now, if you're going off of everything being the cheapest printing, it's around 2,000 on Card Kingdom, but TCG Mid does not have a given list right now. You can rent it on MTGO for $10 a week if you needed to. Hey, we're going to see your card here. There's a Cascading Cataracts.
Hey, okay. Well, I can leave the stream happy as long as that gets activated at least once. That's all I want. I want this to be EDH time.
Ooh, recent list ended with 0 Gilded Drakes. That piques my interest.
Looks like we know what deck you're going to be on now.
So there is a 4/3 with First Strike, protection from green and black there with Thalia.
Certain parts of that certainly more relevant than other pieces of text.
Yeah.
Frosty. Oh, that's right. We need to stop the game as well. Frosty can't equip because it's an activated ability of Sword of Feast and Famine.
Oh no, Frosty!
Oh.
That's your second warning. I have to issue Frosty a game loss. Man.
Yep. Mr. Jack Tech's stopping the game here.
Yeah. It looks like we may have to, unless these players just move forward with it, the swing's still going to hit Karn no matter what.
Yeah. Do you want to jump in over there and talk to the players, Pope?
Yeah. So we're gonna go. I'll be right back.
Yep. Well, he's going to jump in the match with us. Thankfully, we are able to communicate with our streamer, and we always have a table spotter here, Mike Diffin, Mick Diff on our server. I don't feel like I'm doxing him because he uses the same name for Twitch. He's been doing a great job just helping us stay on top of all this. Whenever cards are milled, whenever cards are dredged, when they're revealed off of a Thoughtseize or a Cabal Therapy, just really helping the commentators make sure that we can know what's in each zone at each time. Giving us the play-by-play so we can not look like total fools talking to y'all. We're going to get Pope in there talking with both players.
All right, so we're gonna let them keep playing. I have issued them each. This is not an official Magic the Gathering tournament, and I really don't feel like ending a game off of a misplay. That's just my personal opinion here. I am a judge. I have the ability to make my own decisions. This is not an official Wizards of the Coast event. These players have a lot of stress on them. They are playing to get into the final of their last match, and I want to see them play the best Magic that they can play. And I'm sure everyone in chat can agree with you guys. And so,
yeah, I think that our players would have understood any decision there, but as long as Malfi, is on board, I think more Magic is better for all of us.
Yeah, both players understand exactly we are. Both players understand that. If players have a problem with what that is, please come message me. I can talk to you guys after that. This is the MTG Paper Legacy Discord. This is not a Pro Tour. This is not a Grand Prix. If this is a Grand Prix, Frosty would be losing this game. But we want to see Magic being played at the best level of being played. We want to see what these players can do, and we can't do that if our players are getting lost in a game that is overwhelming to get into a final. It's Magic. It's not the end of the world. If any player has a problem with that about my ruling, please come speak to me after this tournament, and I'll happily walk through with you my thought process along with every other judges in our mod team's decision. If any of you players, I believe most of the mod team here considers myself the head judge of the server. If you have any problems, please come talk to me. We just want to see good Magic played. If that means there's a mistake, we are able in a position to stop it. This one was unfortunate, and we're just going to keep going on with Frosty here. Frosty and Malfi here playing their best game.
Exactly. Dude, looks like Malfi casting that Forsaken Monument finally off of Grim Monolith and 3 lands there.
Yeah. I believe so.
I'm tapping the Grim Monolith, but there's just been a lot going on in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I told each player to take a deep breath. They have plenty of time. There's still almost 30 minutes left in the game. I think they're both a little frazzled for playing so many games so quickly, and also the fact that we are making sure they're playing their best Magic at all times.
Yeah, knowing that you've got the internet watching you play Magic does, I think, alter your play, or at least it does for me a little bit.
Yeah, and like I said, I want to see the best Magic being played. I am a head judge for the server. If you have questions about what happened today, please come message me. We can talk about it. But I want to see Frosty and I want to see Malfi play the best Magic they can. If we have a problem, there's no playing favorites in this. I would hold all of our 8 players to this.
Yeah. Chat pointing out, Forsaken Monument doesn't add mana itself, but it does change any permanent being tapped for mana. Damping Sphere only cares about lands, so.
Yeah. We appreciate all of you being so incredibly patient with this game. Magic's difficult. Magic, I believe, is one of the hardest games to play if you're new to it, even at the legacy standpoint. But these players know what they're doing, and it's just unfortunate that this kind of thing happens. And we have watched Frosty, Malfi, Charble, Rax, all 8 of these players play consistently over the last 3 months. It's the stream environment. It is a top 8 environment, and they understand the pressure, and we're going to keep going with them playing.
So the situation on the board here looks like Malfi has found an effective way of unlocking his mana through Forsaken Monument.
Yeah, I think that's the best way for him to go about that. And looks like we have a potential to see Malfi start doing some big things here.
So that is his second spell this turn. So we just need to make sure that that's for no more than 3, which it is not. Cool.
Yeah.
So Stone Coil there. Not going to be as effective against Death and Taxes as some other decks, but it's definitely a body to get on the board there.
Yeah.
We'll block Thalia all day long, if nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see now, both players going very slowly, counting out their mana, playing taxes against a deck that creates absurd amounts of mana over different layers. They're working through this.
Yeah, just there are no Blood Moons out right now. There's no Trinospheres out right now. So
yeah.
Yeah, Left Coast, good point. It is a 5/5 with the Eldrazi Monument, or not the Forsaken Monument.
Yeah,
it's funny. You guys can all tell the one ability on that card that I think is the neatest.
Yeah, the Stone Coil Serpent should be, I believe, a 5/5.
Yeah, but a 5/5 blocks Thalia as well as a 3/3 does. Yeah. Equipment that gives protection from snakes. Well, as we saw, Frosty couldn't equip it if it even if there were, unfortunately. So Frosty has got a little bit of an uphill battle here. There's just several permanents of Malfis that are problematic for her. True, blocks Thalia with a sword, but she can't suit the sword up on a creature.
Yeah,
because of Karn. Karn is gone now. I'm sorry. Please ignore everything I said.
But also apparently, so the players are talking out with the 3/3. I believe we miscounted what made the mana there. So the lands don't make the extra mana. The monument does. So it actually, the Stone Coil is still only a 3/3.
Yeah, but it had the 1 extra tax on it because of Damping Sphere.
Yeah,
but it's going away.
We're going to see the Skyclave, I think, just hit the Serpent. So see a Serpent, doesn't really matter.
Yeah. For all the words that are on Skyclave Apparition, it is only a single color, thank goodness. Long live the Serpent is exiled from this land. Accurate. I do miss the remove from game terminology a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Exile doesn't feel as final.
Those old school nomenclatures of removed from the game, cannot be regenerated, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are going to see another monolith here for them.
So combo assembled. See what we get here. I mean, Walking Ballista. Inventor's Fair for Walking Ballista there, I imagine.
Yeah, I think that's just going to do it there. I think Malfi's just going to take it, and Malfi's going to win that in 3. We are really sorry about how that third game went, but it happens. It's Magic the Gathering. Not everything can be perfect, and we do really appreciate all of you guys being so patient with us and being so open to what our suggestions are for our games. We're going to take a short break here, probably a good 15-minute break. I think we're going to let's come back at 5:30 for our finals against Charbel and Frost and Malfi here. We will see you guys then.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much.